ACHRAF Hakimi and his wife's biggest secret is finally open. See, ever since the news came out about their messy divorce, they've been trying to keep another big secret away from the entire world. Until recently, his ex-wife slipped, and now the ugly truth is everywhere. But first off, who really is Hakimi's ex-wife? Her name is Hiba Abouk, and she's freaking popular. See, even though Hiba was born in Spain, her parents migrated from Tunisia before she was born, and she's been living there ever since. She got a degree in performing arts from the University of Madrid and kicked off her acting career in 2010. She's got over 1.6 million followers on Instagram and was pretty much doing okay for herself until she met Hakimi. And that's when things got crazy. Now, they've both got similar stories, and here's the deal. Hakimi was born in Spain, but his parents are Moroccan immigrants who came to the country long before he was born. Now, unlike most ballers growing up, Hakimi actually didn't have dreams of turning out as a pro baller in the beginning. Nah, he was interested in another sport, swimming. Hakimi used to practice his swimming skills every day after school, until one evening, after playing ball with his friends in the park, Hakimi immediately knew he had to take the game seriously because it was going to rescue his family. See, the thing is, Hakimi's family struggled with poverty from the beginning, and because of that, Hakimi couldn't enjoy life as a kid. But when he saw the superstar ballers in the city, he knew if he took his football game seriously and started training, he'd be able to take care of his family. So Hakimi started practicing every day, and pretty soon, after training at the local club Deportiva Colonia, he signed with Real Madrid youth team. And in 2017, he finally made his debut for the senior team. And after making his debut, Hakimi was getting love from all corners, and he finally decided to show off his girlfriend to the entire world. And spoiler alert, it's not who you think it is. Hakimi was hooked up with his first girlfriend, Lucia Utera Valenzuela, in 2017. But after a couple of months, they decided to end the whole thing. And that's when Hakimi met the woman that would change his life or ruin it. Hakimi was still trying to get over his ex-girlfriend when he met Hiba in Madrid. She was shooting for the cover of Vogue Arabia, and after they talked a bit, they exchanged numbers and started flirting behind the scenes. Smart moves, Hakimi. They decided to go official with their relationship in 2019 and got married in a private ceremony months later. Everything seemed to be going great until the walls started to crack and they couldn't hide it anymore. See, even though they have 2 kids, Hakimi and Hiba's relationship had been on the rocks for a couple of months, but they didn't want anyone to know, and that's when they found the perfect cover-up. In the 2022 World Cup, Hiba traveled with Hakimi to Qatar with his mom and watched him go all the way with Morocco to the semifinals. There was no way anyone could have guessed something was wrong. Until months later, they were in the news again, only this time, it was wide open. Hakimi's wife was filing for divorce. People close to him tried to talk her out of the whole thing, but she wasn't interested. And when she got quizzed, she gave a stunning revelation that shocked the entire world. Hakimi is an unfaithful partner. I ain't gonna lie, at first I thought she was making it up, until the news came out, and Hakimi was in for the wrong reason. Hakimi was accused of rape. See, the woman who refused to give her name out said the whole thing happened while Hiba and Hakimi's kids were on holiday in Dubai. According to her, she and Hakimi had been talking for a while, and when Hakimi knew his wife and kids would be traveling out, he invited her over and forcefully tried to touch her. She called a ride and left and went straight to the police. Whoa, 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 now that's heavy stuff. As soon as it came out, it was blowing up all over social media, and that's when Hakimi's lawyer, Fanny Collins, knew he had to step in and say something. So he strongly denied the whole thing and said Hakimi was being set up. Now, in all of this, Hakimi's wife Hiba hadn't said anything yet. And maybe that's because she was too busy watching Mr. Football's videos on YouTube and blowing up that subscribe button. I can't blame her, man. It's addictive, I know. But when she finally decided to address the whole situation, she dropped a bombshell. After having taken the decision to legally separate and stop living together while awaiting the divorce procedure, which you can imagine on top of the pain brought about by the separation, as well as having to accept the sadness that a failed project, which I gave my body and soul, brings, I was supposed to face up to this disgraceful act. I needed time to come to terms with the shock. One must trust the legal process, especially considering the gravity of the accusation. Nonetheless, in my life, I always have been and always will be on the side of victims. What was that about? I mean, I ain't a judge or something, but from this, she clearly ain't supporting her husband. Oh, wait, what's that? Former. Yeah, Turns out she and Hakimi were in the process of getting a divorce, but as soon as she took Hakimi to court to finalize the details, she soon realized that she was about to receive the biggest shock of her life. When they got to court, Hiba demanded that Hakimi's property be split in half so she could take care of the kids. But that's when the judges gave her the stunning news. "We're sorry, ma'am, but your husband doesn't have any properties in his name." Whoa! She couldn't believe it, so she went back out with her lawyers to double check, and that's when they realized everything Hakimi had was in his mother's name, and there was a reason for that. See, when Hakimi turned pro and signed his first contract with Real Madrid way back, he was still only 17, and there was no way he'd be able to get his salary. So Hakimi decided to get this wages in his mom's name. And when he finally turned 18, he figured he'd keep it like that, and he's been doing so ever since. So yep, whenever Hakimi wants to go shopping with his buddies like Mbappe, he has to ask his mom for credit card permission. But seriously, Hakimi decided that this was the best thing for him, and now in court, there was no way Hiba could get any of the properties because he didn't have any. They belonged to his mom. Maybe that's why Hiba didn't support him in the rape allegation case, because she was still stunned. Or maybe it's because she's older than him. Hakimi and Hiba both realized she was 12 years older than him. But hey, I can't say anything on that. I've had a crush on my 9th grade teacher for years. Despite the huge age difference, Hakimi and Hiba decided to have kids together and get married. Now that's a lot of confidence. But you see guys, Hiba wasn't being completely honest, because the real reason she wanted to get divorced from Hakimi was because of something else. See, over the years since they started dating, Hakimi has played for the biggest clubs in the big leagues. He went on loan to Dortmund from Madrid in 2019 before joining Inter Milan in 2020. And after winning the Italian Series A, Hakimi switched clubs to go join PSG, and he's been living the dream ever since. On his social media, Hakimi posts pictures of himself regularly hanging out with the guys and goofing about, and in particular, he's friends with the future GOAT, Kylian Mbappe. See, it was Mbappe's France team that knocked Morocco out of the World Cup in the semis and denied him a place in the final. But after the match, they got together and showed everyone that there were no hard feelings by switching jerseys after the match. They went together in the tunnel and came up with a plan on how they were both going to spend their World Cup break together, by going on holiday to the US. They went in costumes and had a pretty good time, but as soon as Hakimi got back home, his wife was waiting for him, and this time she was fed up and snapped. See guys, the real reason Hiba wanted to get divorced from Hakimi was because of his lifestyle. According to her, Hakimi wanted to party and go out with his friends instead of staying at home with the kids. She was tired of always having to take him out on her own, and that's why she was asking for a divorce. See guys, when the news broke out about the whole court thing, people started making fun of Hiba. But the truth is, if I'm being honest, she's got enough money to take care of herself. I mean, she's an award-winning actress, and her net worth is $7 million. The divorce has finally been settled, and now they're no longer married. It's over for them. They both agreed to co-parenting, and I guess it might work out for him. Hiba came out a couple of weeks later to say she was doing fine, and judging from the way Hakimi's been playing, I guess he's doing fine too. "My boy's been scoring goals for PSG from the left back, and he's helping fight for the league this season." Ever since the whole thing ended, Hakimi has been a trending hashtag on social media. A lot of people have been praising him for the stuff he did. Even the UFC star Israel Adesanya said, just like Hami, his assets are all protected. I'm not sure if Hakimi wanted it to be like this, but seeing as he ain't talking about it anymore, I guess he's moved on and just wants to concentrate on his game. Maybe Hakimi and Hiba could have taken notes from Hakimi's teammate at PSG and the GOAT, Lionel Messi. Now, Messi's marriage to Antonella Roccuzzo changed his life. But you see guys, it could have all been different, and Messi could have ended up like Hakimi. Want to find out what would have happened if Messi never met Antonella? Click the next video.